Reference is not copying. Reference is not copying. Reference is not copying. Reference is not copying. Okay. You know how sometimes an artist comes up to you and shows you his or her work and goes like, hey, look at what I drew. I didn't use a reference for this. And it shows. Like, yeah, I can tell you didn't use reference because that pose is all messed up and that doesn't even look like a real foot. Why is that such a point of pride for so many people to not use reference? To be fair, I see this more among younger artists who frankly just don't know any better. And I think a lot of that sentiment is pushed by non-artists. Like the idea that using reference somehow is copying and diminishes the value of the artwork. I think most of us understand that there is a lot of studying required and involved when it comes to, well, making things look real. And using reference is a big part of that. So can we just get that out of the way? There is no shame in using reference. There's no reason not to. Your ego is holding you back. Everyone's doing it, from concept artists to Renaissance painters, so you have no excuse not to. So how do we get the most out of it? Say I want to draw a mech, and I do. I would bet that your first instinct when looking for a reference is to just Google image search mech or robot. And then what? What are you going to do with these pictures? See, a lot of the time, you're just not being specific enough. Okay, let's be more specific. I want to draw a mech inspired by tanks. Okay, which war? Which country? What kind of tank? These are questions you should be asking yourself before you even start drawing. Sometimes when I'm lazy, I'll just open up Google image search and then look for whatever I'm looking for and not even scroll past the first 3 pages. And that's not enough. There are so many other resources out there other than just Google image search. You have to dig a little deeper if you want to find the good stuff. Museum archives are one of my favorite places to look for cool references. But books still have their place in 2020. There's just a lot of stuff in there that you probably won't find on the internet. And they come with this added bonus of having words. Sometimes that's worth more than the picture on the book itself. The additional information or stories that are in the text can sometimes spark an idea that is, I think, far more interesting. So don't limit yourself to just pictures. Go out and read a book about the subject you're studying, listen to a podcast, watch a documentary on it. Just go beyond Google image search. Remember, input equals output. That brings me to my next point, and that is to take the time to understand what it is you're looking at. How this thing interacts with this thing. What does the other side look like? What is this thing made out of? The misconception that reference is copying comes up when people don't understand how to use a piece of reference. It's not just looking up an image and copying whatever it is you see, whether it be partially or entirely. Looking is not understanding. If you really understand what it is you're looking at, then you can better incorporate it into your own work or even adjust it so that it fits into your design better. Don't get me wrong, doing your research is good. Like, I spend about an hour to 2 just doing my research before I start a project. But there comes a point in time where you have to actually start doing the work. And sometimes when you have way too many references for one thing, you can fall into the trap of analysis paralysis. Sometimes it's just a matter of picking the right few images or references to focus your design. Sometimes you just have to trust yourself.